Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Before starting my video, if you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please do, and do not forget to turn on notifications as I'm sharing great contents for you all the times. Alright guys, we completed our API project with clean architecture finally, and I would like to make another playlist for unit test, but we're going to use the same project. If you don't have this project, or if you just would like to go through with the unit test, you can go my repository, you can clone the project, and you can run. And do not forget, just use unit test branch, because the API project using development branch, and the unit test is going to be built on the unit test branch. Okay. If you're following my previous playlist for API, now I'm going to make a couple of changes in our repository, and I'm going to explain why we're going to do that. Because it is going to be, how can I say, save our lives to creating our replicated database, I mean mocks for unit tests. Okay, let me show you first what are those changes. Let's go to source. Let's go to infrastructure. Oops, wrong. Click. Let's go to repositories and generic repository. Perfect. This is the two method I have added. Let me open the interface as well. Yeah, this is the two interface I have added here. So what are they those exactly? What they're doing? It is just wrapping all the extension methods in one method. So we are able to mock just one method instead of mocking all the extension methods. So what are those exactly? Let's go to an application layer and see an example. For example, let's go remove customer handler. So this is the EF core link method. Yeah, takes the old data from our database, right? What we need to do in unit tests, we need to mock this data. I mean, we need to give a replicated, a fake data for each of these extension methods. For example, actually this is another extension method. Let's put this down here. So let's make those a little bit nice. Yeah, so first of all, once we create our unit of work mock, I'm going to explain when we switch the unit test version of our project, but now I'm going to do some explanation before. Once we started our project, you will understand everything precisely. Okay, so we're going to have unit of work mock. Yeah, and actually we're going to mock this. Actually, let's put it back here, because we're going to mock these two together. Yeah, unit of work mock for customer. So what are we need to do then? We need to mock this get all data. We need to give fake all data result. Then we need to give fake all data with included invoices data. And finally, we need to give result of first or default. So we need to mock all of these extension methods one by one. This is going to be frustrating to mock all of these. If you're okay to mock them all, you can do anyway. If you're okay with them, the main problem is the first or default async. This async method, once you try to mock it, you're going to get an error message, and it's going to tell you basically iQueryable async method. You need to provide an iQueryable async to mock this first or default async. So it's going to be a headache for you. You can try and you can see the results, but this is definitely going to be a headache. you need to write a lot of different classes, helper methods to enable to mock this person's default async or to list async, whatever you have. Instead of doing this, I created, let's delete these all. Let's change, remove all the changes. We're just going to add, let's delete this get all because the method has get all inside. All you need to do is call the query method here. Actually, this is async. By the way, I didn't try async, but I'm gonna use async in our mock. If it's not gonna work, I'm just gonna use a query. Okay, let's call the async. Let's open it. Now, all we need to do is delete this parenthesis and put this parenthesis here and remove the get all. What it does include the invoices and use the first row default async wrapped by query async. All we need to do is mock this query async method and that's it. Or if we're using query, just mock the query method. That's it. That's all, guys. As I told you before, if we have problem with using async, because I'm gonna try in this video the first time the async version of this query wrapping method, we're going to go back to use query version of it. All right, perfect. It seems all good to me. I'm assuming you understand everything. Let me have a look quickly. Do I need to go through anything else? Okay. Probably once I finish this lesson, I'm gonna push my changes to this branch. You can just basically get the branch and continue the work. Now I'm going to stop the video here. Pause, actually, not stop. I'm gonna do the all changes in my all commands and queries. I'm gonna update all of them. I'm gonna wrap them all with the query and query async, whatever I'm using. Then I'm going to continue where I left. Perfect. All right, let me go through quickly what I did. First of all, I only did the changes on a customer section. I'm not gonna touch identity, invoice, and products because I'm just gonna do my examples on the customer section. So you can implement those wrapping method if you want. Let's have a look to create customer first. The handler doesn't have any more than one method, so we don't need to add actually wrapping method here because all we need to do is mock create async, so it's all done. By the way, we forgot to add cancellation token here. Yeah, Control KD, perfect. And the remove, I already showed the remove a couple of minutes ago. And about the update, we using just get by ID async, so it's going to be all right. It's just one method, so we don't need to wrap it in the method. Get all customer, yep, this is wrapped by query async. We use to list async. And get customer query handler, we using just get by ID, so it is ready to use wrapper method. So we use in two places. Yeah, it seems okay to me for now. Let's save everything. As I told you before, if the query async if doesn't work, I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna go back to just query method and we can continue where we left. Let's minimize everything. Let's send these changes. Query methods are introduced. All right, let's commit all and let's push them into repo. Perfect, it's all ready. All right, guys. Before I finish lesson, let's go back to our folder and let's create the structure first. Then next lesson we can start straight away creating our unit tests. Okay, let's do the preparation now. Let's add a new project here. Perfect. Let's have a look. Let me remember what I was adding here. Let's type here unit test. Unit test, .NET Framework, unit test project, C# xUnit test project. I guess this is the one what I need. And what about this? This is Visual Basic. This is C#. Not that one. Not that one. This is NUnit. It says NUnit. No man, I'm gonna use the xUnit. We can use both xUnit or NUnit, but I'm gonna go through with the xUnit now. To be honest, I couldn't see any um, big differences while I was working both of them. Let's continue. So this is going to be in test folder. Let's select the test folder. Let's go up. No, let's go back. Source. So the test folder has not been created yet. Let's create this test folder here. Hold on, src and test. Let's select the test. Perfect. We are in test now. Let's give a name. YouTube API lean. Why I'm not copy this? Yeah. Architecture dot unit. It's going to be domain test actually. Should I create it for all of them? Let's start with the domain test. Domain tests. Let's next. .NET 0. I'm not switching .NET 9.0 because it's a short-term support. Once the other version, the other long version version arrived, I'm gonna use it. All right, so we got this unit test one. Let's delete it. We don't need it. All right, so we got our domain test in our test folder. Perfect. Let's create all of them, or should we create all of them? So we're going to have application test, functional test, architectural test. And let's go one by one. We're going to start with the domain test. Okay, let's create the structure for the domain test. Let me have a look the folders. Add folders. So I'm going to have a data folder, and I'm going to have a tests test folder. So what we're going to add the data with the customers, let's say customers, the pluralism, the best practice. So test is going to be for customers as well. Customers, perfect. What we have in domain, by the way, let's have a look. Entities, because the domain includes the entities. So let's have a look our customer CS file. So we have here create methods, update methods, increase, decrease, balance, remove, invoice, method CS. What we need to do is we got to test all these methods, and we are going to ensure our project, our domain logic is fully functional. Once it's going to application test, we're going to use handlers. This is go like this. Perfect. I'm assuming you are getting this right now. So I slow. Perfect. Anything else should I add? Customers data, customers. Yeah. For now, I'm gonna finish this lesson here. Then next lesson we're going to create our first class and to write to create first unit test. Perfect. Alright guys, thank you for watching my video. Take care of yourself. See you on next lesson. Bye bye.